All right, everybody, it's Tyler here at Sunshine Showdown Signature Event, checking in with 727G. It's Terrapin Gold. This team bringing an awesome lever scoring mechanism. I really want you to check more into that. These balls just go straight through, right into the goals. Really quick process. I think a lot of teams might want to consider potentially adapting for their robots as well, too. A lot more to dive into with this robot, though, as we go into their different intake systems and talk more about their aligner and wing necks as well, too, and just some other things that make this team function so well. So let's learn more about them coming up here on Pits and Parts. This video on fun is brought to you by viewers like you and also in partnership with the following. For over 100 years, Kettering University has offered a better education because from day one, that education has been built on hands-on, co-op learning. Kettering's impressive alumni network includes founders, presidents, CEOs, and frontrunners who have a reputation for transforming industries with their resolute leadership. Apply today at kettering.edu/first. The Robotics Education and Competition Foundation provides fantastic programs for students from elementary school all the way through college. These include VEX, aerial drone competition, online challenges, JROTC, girl-powered, scholarships, certifications, and so much more. To discover these exciting opportunities, visit recf.org and get connected. Cedric, overall, this is a really cool design, so I'd love to jump more into this. Talk to me about that journey of the block coming in with your intake, the lever, and how all those mechanisms come together.
Yeah, so the first thing that we really want to focus about when making a good intake is actually having these wide funnels here. So we have these half-cut threes that we cut down the bottom so it doesn't hit the ground, but they funnel straight in. So one thing that's really nice about this is we can intake 3 blocks at once using the funnels like that. And then it goes straight up into the lever. And then the lever mechanism here, you can see in the back, is just a straight C channel that's connected to a 100 RPM motor. And the nice thing about that is when we score, it scores really fast. It goes straight out. So that's like the main thing about this robot is just having a fast scoring lever. And yeah, we can even do 6 hits that around the same speed. If you want to take it. And we score. It goes very fast. So that's like the main benefit to this design is having fast scoring, and then it shoots them straight into the control zone, which is very good because then you don't have to rely as much on your D-score wings.
Can you talk to me a little about like coming up with the lever mech? Like what was some of the process? What did you maybe have before that you're like, hey, this is now the new us, and potentially, honestly, I think a new meta option for many teams to look at too. How did you come up with this?
Yeah, so our previous design was actually a very common like S design. We were inspired by a lot of teams at Mall of America. It was holding a lot of capacity, it had 9 capacity, but the issue we had was the scoring was suboptimal, it was pretty slow. And issues with this is we ran out of time in skills, and even in matches, like the shift from scoring and filling a full goal to just scoring 3 blocks as fast as you can, and just like using D-score wings was like a big shift in the meta. So we went from this 9 block capacity to more of like a 6 block that can score faster. And we actually got inspired by, it was String Theory we first saw it on. They had a really nice lever bot, but one thing we improved on that Aiden will touch on a little bit later is the mid score capacity. So an issue that we saw was people were using a lot of poly, and it was kind of like the poly would like bend sometimes, and we just wanted to make it like more reliable mid score, and that was one of the things.
Well, let's pass over to Dave and talk more about some of that process. And I'd love to hear about how you took that in and continually improved, and of course how it's working out for your team.
Yeah, so I'll touch on sort of how the mid score works. So if you look from the side, we actually use a mechanism called a 4-bar lift mechanism. And what it does is we have these 2 bars on either side, and they're connected on pivots on either side. And what it allows us to do is allows us to go, so this is our high goal state, and then we're able to go down to our mid goal state. And what this does is we're able to maintain our 6-ball capacity like we showed before, and the lever works the exact same. So you can like score, for example, and it'll come out the same speed, the same way into the mid goal and to the high goal. And we slow it down in code later. However, it gives us the ability to be able to score consistently in both of these goals. And what that really does is we noticed that in our previous boss, for example, the S spot, the mid goal was a lot less consistent than it is now. And the mid goal is something that we prioritized in a lot of our autos like AWP. And we noticed that this is something that we really wanted to improve upon. Some ways we sort of do this is our plastic usage. So as many people know, for this season, VEX changed the rules and you only have 12 pieces of plastic. So we have to use it like very wisely. So what we do is we have 2 side panels and a front panel here. And what this does is not only does it save weight, but we're able to kind of funnel up the blocks into the lever mechanism and the mid-goal mechanism. And after some tuning, it basically is able to like keep these blocks in the 6 in a row and score pretty consistently for both goals.
Played a few matches here so far, Sunshine Showdown. What are maybe some other thoughts that have come up in your head in terms of like future gameplay improvements, that sort of thing?
So in terms of lever, I think the best course of action for improving on the lever or trying to get somewhere further with it is trying to make it 7-ball capacity. And that's honestly, it was pretty difficult. We wanted to figure out how to do that, but it is a kind of a challenge just because of the way the geometry works and like being within 18 and 18. But maintaining the 7-ball capacity would honestly make the lever like a lot better, especially for skills. And it would allow us to get that mid-goal and skills a lot more consistent. However, we noticed from matches, it's been great so far. It's been scoring very well, and it's able to score that mid-goal very fast. I think another thing that we've noticed is like in comparison to other robots, like the Ruergon robot that has like the flaps, like the scoring speed is faster. And I mean, there's so many options this year and they're all pretty even. And it's really about what you want to prioritize.
Sure.
So if you want to prioritize match, I think lever is a very viable option.
I agree, and I can't wait to see, watch you guys continue to compete more. It's a really exciting robot to watch too, which I think is really cool.
Fun.
Can we pass over to Stone and talk more about with Stone? A couple things I want to highlight here. You're a liner kind of wing mech. I'd love to hear more about that. And then you were talking to me earlier that you're using what you call a leaf spring on your odometry pod too. Let's highlight these couple features.
Yeah, so just like Aiden was talking about with Poly, we've got Poly right here for aligning our D-score. And I mean, it's a really light mechanism. We've tried to prioritize weight with the whole bot. And so the simplest thing we could do was just put a screw right here, pneumatic, go up, down. Really the aligner is the key thing. That's the thing we added more recently. It just makes it so much easier for our driver to align. We curve this here, so he can just drive in from any angle and it just lines up nicely. Easy D-score, and it's really key for the control because even though our lever shoots straight into the control, a lot of times in autos and in matches, another team will come and push balls right back the other way. So if on an auto, we can just shoot into the control and then drive and make sure we really get that control, then our autons are almost always wins for us. And then with leaf spring, if we turn the robot over there, you can see that we've got an odom pawn here. This is something we've used in previous years, but to upgrade it this year, we added this leaf spring mech with a hole cut plastic there. So it springs nicely without using like rubber bands or anything. It's just pure plastic. And really that's helped our odom pod a lot this year because we used to have odom pods that were like, it got finicky with the rubber bands and stuff. They get in the way. They really mess up your odom pod. So this year with the plastic, it's clean mech and it works so much better. And then we've also implemented distance sensors for stuff. And I think Jay's going to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, Jay, there's a lot of different sensors going on this robot. So let's break down some of them.
So yeah, to talk about the sensors, we have 4 distance sensors, one facing in each direction of the robot, which is something that we haven't implemented in past years. But it's been, since we only have one odom pod, we have that vertical tracking. But for horizontal drift, there's no tracking. So when we go into a goal and maybe we shift a little bit with our aligner in the front, it can't account for that. So using these distance sensor resets, I can make a task in the average amount of readings and kind of just tell the robot where it is. Even though the odometry is tracking it, it kind of just accounts for any error and just tells the robot exactly where it is. And I can strategically use those throughout different times in the autos. And like for skills, for example, I would run it quite a few more times than for a 15-second match autonomous. But it's been really helpful to use all of these different sensors plus the odom, and they kind of all work together to make it accurate. And to kind of return to the lever a little bit, this year we have a lot more moving parts with the scoring action. And even with like the roller, you're just telling it to outtake. There's not much going on. But with this lever, you have to tell the lever to go up. You have to tell the hood to go if you want to score real quick. If you want to score it. But we're out of air. But the hood has to go up, the lever has to go up, and we actually have worked tuning it a little bit to have a little bit of a 100 millisecond outtake as it scores. So there's been a lot of these little fine-tuning things that you can't see during the match, but that run in the macro when Cedric is driving, or even in the auto when it's trying to score. And so that's been very interesting to kind of tune. And even the speeds, like when it's going for the upper goals, it's going to score a lot quicker than it is for the lower goal because it's shorter. And if there's more balls, we have different speeds. So that's been interesting to tune as well.
I'm glad you mentioned that too, because some other teams to talk to with high skill scores, they struggle with getting, that 6th, 7th ball into that mid goal a lot of times because they are going too fast. So that's interesting that even with this lever mech, they're able to tune it the way they use.
Yeah, and we actually have to bring it down because it's full speed, which we use in match for the upper goal.
Yeah.
It's almost too fast for most other uses, so we actually have to tune it back. But it's interesting. We have so many different permutations of speeds and the outtakes and how we can use it in every single situation.
Well, Terrapin Gold, thank you so much for telling us more about this robot. I love the overall design for this. I can't wait to see your team continue to compete here. And I think some great things that other teams can learn from too. So wish you the best of luck the rest of the way here at Sunshine Showdown. Thanks for being on Pits and Parts.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to stay up to date on future fun videos. The Robotics Education and Competition Foundation provides fantastic programs for students from elementary school all the way through college. These include VEX, aerial drone competition, online challenges, JROTC, girl-powered, scholarships, certifications, and so much more. To discover these exciting opportunities, visit recf.org and get connected. For over 100 years, Kettering University has offered a better education because from day one, that education has been built on hands-on, co-op learning. Kettering's impressive alumni network includes founders, presidents, CEOs, and frontrunners who have a reputation for transforming industries with their resolute leadership. Apply today at kettering.edu/first.